Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's live stream AMA. Yes, we've got. I just leaked something pretty big, or we just did on the Pixels official Twitter account. So I highly recommend you go over there and take a look at it. Just waiting on Luke, as we do. We'll talk about it once he's here, but for now. Hello guys. How are we doing? I mean, as per usual, we can talk like spill the tea while Luke is gone. So tell me all your secrets, what you don't want Luke to know. Spooky Halloween. Yes. If you guys remember this map from last year, we did a very questionable, weird Halloween event with teeth being the currency, which was kind of fun. We're not bringing back teeth, but we are going to throw a big energy party on this map, not the interior on this map, just because, like, how iconic is this? This building is incredible. So we definitely have to bring ourselves back to the old days. It is under construction. As you can see, there's some edits coming along, but it is pretty cool. So we are going to have a big party there. And Luke has arrived, so I think we can talk about what I just tweeted, or what we just tweeted. I keep saying what we just, there's no alert here. People know who's behind. I always joke that, like, if on the Pixels official account, if there's something like update or community or stupid, it's me. And if it's something more like serious, it's you. Basically. Yeah, we just leaked the chapter 3 release date. Should we go? I'm gonna go pull it up.
Yeah, it's like, months and months away. It's never coming. No, just kidding.
2 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, so chapter 3, it's set to release tomorrow, which is super exciting. So just
there we go.
give you guys an understanding of all the things that we've been working on here at Pixels, and like the intention of chapter 3 again. Basically, chapter 3, when you start to play it, it won't feel like a huge update. But there's a lot that's going on in the back end. Basically, with chapter 3, it's a new game loop that all of you guys are going to be participating in. If you play the game like normal and you do the task board inside of Pixels, you will be playing chapter 3. Basically, what's going to happen is there's going to be new tasks that pop up inside of your task board, and you'll be getting these things called yield stones. Yield stones will be how you participate inside of chapter 3. So if you play the game like normal, you might as well participate in chapter 3. I guess you don't have to, but you'll be getting things that you use inside of chapter 3 as you play the game like you normally do. Now, the reason that we're doing this and like the whole intention behind chapter 3 is we're pushing towards making the game sustainable, right? We talk about this all the time. If you follow these AMAs, this is like not any big news to you, but I just want to repeat and emphasize, because actually we've made a lot of progress in the last 2 weeks with like the recent content update. And, these changes with chapter 3 and the last change makes me really optimistic about where the game is going when it comes to sustainability. And if you combine that with the other stuff that we're doing with, rewarded offers and this whole play to earn infrastructure platform that we're building, this is like the most confident that I've gotten that we're actually pretty close to solving the play to earn problem. So it's exciting. The big question is like how long we can maintain sustainability. So we'll talk about what that looks like. We'll talk about what we're doing there. And yeah, maybe we'll give like a real quick refresher on like what chapter 3 looks like and is today as well. But we also have some cool news, and maybe I'll even go through some of the numbers and some of the nerdy stuff today. So in this AMA, I think what we want to do is we kind of wanted to give you guys some time to ask some questions. We'll maybe go through some numbers. We'll give some updates on some of the long term, the way that we're thinking about things, how we plan on releasing chapter 3, how we plan on supporting it. And I think it's also a good time to talk about what's going to be after chapter 3, what maybe like a chapter 4 looks like, all of this really means basically. So yeah, and like some of our approaches and what we're in the back of our minds thinking as well. So yeah, we'll maybe go through some questions. We'll go and like give like a quick demo again. And yeah, I don't know if you had anything that you wanted to run through today, Heidi.
No, I was just so excited to leak. I was scrolling through some of our tweets from like play to airdrop time, and I saw this template and I was like, perfect. I was just so excited to share with you guys what's coming in the next few days. So starting with today, we have, or I was going to point at this. This isn't today. We do have something coming out so Halloween this year. We always love a good holiday event. You guys know that well. And we've been switching up kind of how we do it. In the past, we've dropped these enormous events that were honestly too big. They were even hard to communicate, like how to participate. So we've been scaling it back in like a really fun way. So you might have noticed yesterday, a new shop arrived in Terravilla. Actually, you know what? Why don't I show you guys? I don't know. Wait, you know what? I can't share prod. I'm having trouble. Luke, can you share prod Terravilla and go and click on the little store? So a little store dropped in Terravilla yesterday with some fun Halloween items. Here we go. Fountain was replaced with a spooky pixels sign. And then, yeah, there's some fun things in here. Don't forget to use your creator codes. Also, of course, they work on Luke's just buying up the shop. You can see what those look like too. There's some examples right in Terravilla. Not even using a creator code. He's just going in. Look at this guy.
Yeah, I'm helping contribute to the pixels.
There you go. The tiles are on the left, so you can see them.
It either goes here or it goes in the high-low.
Wait. Someone said something funny and I pulled it aside. I think Luke dropped his hat in Neon's on high or lower. So you're not wearing a hat. So rare. I wonder when the last time you didn't. Your spec is like actually designed. I'm surprised.
People give me so many decorations. I'm running out of space to put them
all. I have like crates filled with decorations. Yeah.
Cool. Nice. Oh, those are cute. What else is there?
There's 3 types. So I think you bought all 3, right? Or just the 2?
Yeah, I bought all of them. I do like that.
I like that. You're making like a little spooky carpet.
Oh, actually, wait, I liked those ones best. Where are they? The one I didn't put down yet.
Yeah, that one's the coolest. I think that's the most expensive one, which makes sense. They'd make the coolest one, that one, but.
Nice. And then
you got your orange grumpkin.
Perfect.
Yeah, stunning. Love it. So yeah, there's some fun themed items. I personally love the big pixel sign. That's why I was just like, screw it, fountain's gone. Sign is in, because I think it looks so cool. So yeah, go grab those. I think that they'll probably close the store down on November 1st. So, which makes sense. So go grab them before Saturday. And then we also have a fun little interactive quest, Halloween themed, of course, launching in a few hours. And there are some pretty, wait, should I leak something? Or should we keep it a surprise? What do you think?
I should leak it. I think you should leak it. Cabby Barron said
I should. Oh, okay. If they said it, then yeah, then I absolutely should. Okay, wait. Let me find. I made like a good. Oh shoot! Give me 1 second.
Oh, that is nice. This is Cappy Barron's spec. They said they decorated it with a lot of spooky decorations.
Oh, I love it. There's been so many amazing spooky UGCs this year, and shout out to our content creators. So if you haven't noticed, well, I mean, you must have noticed, but there's pumpkins all over the place in Terravilla. So what happened were 2 of our, I think it's Silverwing and I'm blanking, someone else. They created a bunch of templates of pumpkins in our content creator program, handed them out to all the creators, and I think around 31 creators designed pumpkins. And they made this one big pumpkin, like a bunch of them together, UGC, which I think that they're probably like giving out soon. But when I saw it, I was like, you need to give me the art of all the individual pumpkins so that we can place them everywhere. So that's what is all over Terravilla right now. And I just love it. It was like the most magical, genuine little community themed event. So I love that. Okay, we were talking about leaking something. Should we still do it?
Yeah, you should do it.
Okay, so we have a little quest launching today, and there are Hold on. Anticipation, maybe. There are 6 bat pets that will be rewarded from this quest totally at random. The final NPC that you chat with will give you a little box and 6 bat pets will be distributed. There will be more bat pets up for grabs in another Halloween themed event that we're launching on Halloween itself on Friday. So yeah, it's a packed week. We've got yesterday we had the fun little decor stuff launching, get you excited for the season. Today we have a quest launching, and yes, there will be 6 bat pets up for grabs. And then tomorrow, chapter 3. I mean, that should be the only thing launching this week, but nope, we're going hard. And then on Friday, there is actually a permanent addition to the game coming that is a little spooky themed. And then more bat pets will be distributed through that, along with a big energy party on the spooky castle map that is behind me here. So it's a packed week. So I hope to see all of you guys throughout the next week. And then obviously chapter 3 just kicks off like a whole new chapter for us. So yeah, it's gonna be busy. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry, just looking through the comments. Why they're so cute. I know.
I think maybe what we should do is we should just do like a mini recap of chapter 3. We went over it a lot in the last AMA, but just to give you guys a refresher, because it's coming out tomorrow, what we should do is like give you guys just a reminder, like the TLDR, what you guys need to do, what you guys need to expect, how to do it.
Let's do it. Okay, you know what? I sometimes like I like want to post about something and then I'm like, oh, people don't care. Like it's just like internal company fun, stupid stuff. But maybe you guys will enjoy this one. So, first of all, like I don't know, I'd worked 12 hours straight yesterday. It was hectic, and me and some of our coworkers were all like messing around, joking about so, okay, this is a bit of an extra leak though. So Sophia is one of the NPCs in the quest that is launching today. And she's English, okay? She's from England, and you know English slang, they say in it, right? And so I don't know if it was my idea, or I think me and my coworker collectively, like telepathically, were like, what if when you walk near Sophia, she just says in it? And then Sophia recorded herself saying it, and they actually implemented it. So I think let's go find out together. Okay, here, hold on. Let me share. I don't know if the sound shares when I do. We'll test, but this is so ridiculous. Okay, hold on. Come on. Don't do this to me right now. This is our internal environment. Okay, hold on. I think which avatar should I use? It's my little unicorn. Okay. This is our internal environment, guys. So once again, oh, I'm leaking something huge right now. I didn't even think about it. Okay, well, let me know if you guys notice. What am I accidentally leaking? Okay, wait, I don't even know where Sophia is. Nope. Okay, give me 2 seconds. Let me figure this out. I have no idea where she is. Oh my God. Okay, wait. Where is Sophia? Sophia, can you message me? Do you even know where you are? I don't think anyone noticed what I accidentally leaked. Okay, hold on. Let me find.
I didn't even know this.
It's in our team chat the other day, I posted about it. That's your hint. Let's see if you catch on. Okay, hold on. Let me find her. No one's answering me, so I've just gotta go figure this out. Wait, that's not her. Hold on. What the heck? We have like different versions of NPCs because sometimes we just need multiples. And I found her old one, but that's not the right one, I don't think. Okay, this is annoying me.
It'll be worth it.
It's like not worth it. This is just stupid internal stuff. Okay, place it in the guild, or sorry, not guild. What am I saying? The Hearth Hall. Okay, he's gonna place it. In the meantime, we can demo what we're supposed to be demoing, and that is what chapter 3 is like. Okay, let's go back here. Am I sharing my screen or are you? You're sharing yours. Oh.
Yeah, you should share. I was going to try the demo, but I'm not set up to demo on any of the current environments right now.
I don't know if I am either. Oh, wait. Okay, hold on. Wait.
In it. In it. In it. In it.
What?
In it. In it.
Okay, we can turn that off now. That's the dumb stuff we do when we're all delirious from working crazy hours. So anyway, all right, cool. Back to what we should be talking about. And this is, okay, I'm sorry. Deep breaths. Let's dive into chapter 3. So you're going to come in here and you're going to get a quest, which will trigger you to go and talk to all the NPCs in the Hearth Hall and learn more about each union. There are 3 different unions that you can choose from to join. And you can come over here and select your harvest union. So I am already in a union, I think right now, because this is the internal environment, right? I think I'm in the seed rights, which is the yellow one. But once you choose your union, you can get started. Coming up here, you can find out more about what they're all about. Now, last week, I dove really deep into everything, chapter 3, everything. The chapter 3 update is called Bounty Fall. I dove into what each union's vibe was like, but I'm not going to do that right now. You can go watch last week's AMA. If you can't wait 24 hours, you can go watch last week's AMA. But once this is live, you can click on these and they give you like a little insight. Obviously, we'll also post all about everything you need to know in our announcement that goes out when we launch tomorrow. But yeah, let's keep going. So if you come over here, you can also pick up some, these are additional things that I actually didn't show. So there's some fun like banners that you can put on your lands. Wait, maybe I should buy. I think I'm in seed rights right now. So let's buy a seed rights one. Okay, kind of cool. You can put it on a land. So the goal of each union is to get their Hearth, is Hearth, right? I keep messing up how you pronounce it. Hearth health up to 100%. So I'm going to come up here and this is the seed rights Hearth. Over here we have wild groves and then we have on the right reapers, which seems to be a popular one. So we'll see how this all pans out. But right now I'm in seed rights, which is the yellow one in the middle here. And this is our Hearth manager. So you can see our progress is at 18.3%. And the goal is to get that up to 100%. And once one of the unions gets it to 100%, then the season is over and the top 2 unions get pixel rewards. So the pixel rewards pool, let's talk about this a little bit because we didn't talk about it actually yesterday or last week. The rewards pool, how that works. So it is dynamic based on player contributions. So the more I participate in all of chapter 3, the more rewards will be given out at the end of the season. And that doesn't just mean like, I went and bought something that was in pixel. Like, no. You just participated in the whole event. And that bumps up the rewards pool. So the more people that are participating, the higher the rewards pool gets, which is pretty cool. The top 1 union, that's the weirdest way to say that. The union that wins gets 70% of the rewards, and the union that comes in second place gets 30%. And then those are dynamically distributed across all players within the winning unions, depending on how much they contributed. So let's go back to the beginning, how the mechanics work. How do I get my Hearth health up to 100%? So you need what are called yield stones. There is one type of yield stone per union. So this one here is called Oh my gosh, this one's hollow. That one's flint, and this one is escaping me. Is what it is. But anyways, you need the right type of yield stone to put in your hearth. Now, just participating in this, I will slowly get yield stones from unions that aren't mine. I can still use those though to actually sabotage other unions. So for instance, I have this verdant. This one is flint and the green one is verdant. So I have some verdant, but I'm not in Wild Grove's union. I can still come over here, put this in their hearth, and that actually sabotages. Watch the guys, you got to watch the animation. It's so good. I love it. I love it. Okay. So how do I get yield stones? Let's go to, I think I had it, which land had I set it up on last time we did this? I think it was this one. Yes, it is. There are two ways to get yield stones, and I would say the way that you'll get most of them, because it's a just more plentiful amount, will be through your task board. So you come over here to the infinite funnel, and you can see that I can get, so right now I can get hollow tier 2. So there are 5 tiers to yield stones, with the higher the tier ones being more powerful. So for instance, this is tier 2 hollow. So when I go to this is for reapers, right? So when I take this one and I go and sabotage their hearth, it's a little bit stronger than it would be if it was tier 1, and a little bit less if it was than the other higher tiers, right? Over here, I have flint 3. Okay, this is pretty good, right? We're getting higher in the tiers. This would be good for me because this is of my union. So I want that one specifically. I want to have another hollow one here. Cool. Nice. So that's how you can get yield stone. So Luke, do you want to kind of talk about the integration into the infinite funnel task board and like how it affects?
Yeah, so it's interesting. So basically, here's kind of the thought process behind it. If you're playing the task board normally, now you'll also be getting these new types of tasks. And here's how it might affect some of you who grind the task board, and the task board is your normal gameplay, right? So we're kind of aware of the meta of the task board and how people play it, right? A lot of you who try to complete the task board every single day, you're trying to get basically like min-max the pixel that you get through the task board. A lot of you don't even care about the tasks that are coins inside of the task board. You really only care about getting pixel. And we know that a lot of you consider that certain coin tasks are more like blocker tasks, right? This is getting like really deep into the meta of the way that people play. Like this was not really the way that we had designed the task board initially, but it's just emergent meta that popped up as we realized how you guys were playing it, right? So essentially what we're doing is we're introducing new types of tasks into the task board, where if you're trying to min-max the pixel that you get inside of the task board, you're now also going to be presented these tasks. So if you're trying to really get as much pixels as you can and kind of like grind through the task board every single day, you're going to probably have to complete these tasks as well to get through the task board, right? So as you're trying to get pixel, you're going to be getting these yield stones, and you might as well use the yield stone inside of chapter 3 too. Now, what this is probably going to do to the people who are trying to min-max task board is essentially you might have to spend some more coins as you're completing the task board to get these yield stone tasks, to get the pixel tasks you ultimately want. Maybe that means that your CPP, this is like crazy meta that not everybody does, but like the min-maxers inside of the game do. They call it CPP, cost per pixel, will change a little bit as you're going through this task board. Now, what you have to remember as we make this change is that you will get some earnings inside of the chapter 3 loop as well. So as you're getting yield stone, you'll be able to use the yield stone inside of the hearths, and you'll be able to rank up on these union-oriented leaderboards. So maybe you can show what these leaderboards look like and how they work, just so that people understand.
I don't know if they're set up ready to be displayed.
Okay, well,
but there are leaderboards, yes.
I'll high level explain it so you guys understand. Basically, when you join the union, anytime that you compete in the chapter 3 game loop, you'll be on a union specific leaderboard. So your earnings will kind of be relative to the union, right? And you'll also get a boost and more earnings if your union wins. So there's basically like 3 potential outcomes that can happen when you're participating in this gameplay. Your union wins, your union gets 2nd place, your union gets 3rd place. And depending on how the unions do, it'll change how many earnings that you get. But essentially, your rewards will be related to the union, how it performs overall, and how well you did inside of that specific union. So if you switch unions, you'll kind of be on 2 leaderboards, right? So you won't really be able to like game the system by switching unions last second, because you wouldn't have contributed as much to that union's winning, and you won't get as much of the share of the union's winnings either. So yeah, we had some like people being like, oh, what if I just switch unions last second? Well, if you didn't actually do anything inside of that union, you won't really get any earnings. But essentially, this is a new way to also earn inside of the game. And your earning calculations might be a little bit more complicated now than just like the pure CPP calculations that you guys have been doing inside of the task board, right? So that's what's kind of interesting about this loop. It's essentially a new way to earn in addition to the task board. And some of your earnings when you're doing the task board will not just come from the task board anymore. It will also come from this new game loop, right? And what this does is this adds some elements of competition into the game finally. This is like pretty light competition compared to what we could do, right? Like a game like Cambria is maybe more intense competition, right? Where you're directly competing against other players. It's more skill-based. This is like more light skill-based gameplay. But there's still going to be some skill here when it comes to sabotage, when it comes to deciding like what union to choose. I wonder out when we have something live, right? Like we can do all of this theory crafting. We can just kind of like theorize and how this perfect gameplay will get done. But honestly, we took a different approach to chapter 3, and we're kind of going back to our roots with game design, game building, and the way that we ship things moving forward. One of the things that we did wrong over the last year, I would say, is kind of go counter to what Pixels did best in the beginning stages. Pixels kind of got to where it was, I like to say, through pure brute force. Basically, we would just release things, and we wouldn't really know how they were going to go, and then the team would just work super, super hard to fix them as we shipped. And that was how we built for the first like 2 to 3 years of Pixels, basically. We didn't really know what we were doing when it came to game balance. We didn't really know what we were doing with a lot of stuff, but we listened to the community, we looked at data, and we made changes really, really quickly. And we released things that were not very polished at the very beginning. And, I think we were a little too hard on that side at the beginning of the things. Like, it's good to have people who know what they're doing on the team and to have like a little bit of guidance before we go and ship something. But we got into this weird mindset afterwards where it's like, oh man, there's so many people playing the game. There's so much money on the line. Like, we have to like be smarter about it. And I think if I'm thinking tactically on things I would have done different over the last year or two, it would have been changing that. I think when you think about a team's strength, you have to think about what makes a team unique and where the team's strengths lie. And that really is where the team's strengths lie. Like, we really care about Pixels. We really care about the community. We really care about, building things that are going to work. And if we want to like lean into our strengths, it really is that. Basically, building quickly, shipping things, experimenting, and fixing them if they're broken. So chapter 3 is going to be more in that mindset where if you go and play this loop, it's not going to be like the most groundbreaking thing when it comes to gameplay, even though I think it is really interesting. There's a lot of meta that's going to form around it. Like, what we're more focused on is the meta gameplay, the economics, and seeing that this is a model that can work. So there will be a lot of live updates that we're going to do, a lot of tweaking on the gameplay and the game meta. And if this is something that we do find to be fun and like interesting, we'll kind of double down on mechanics, especially when we're thinking about a chapter 4. So that's more the mindset, basically, like ship quickly, build things that are good enough to see if the, initial idea is right. And then if it is, and we're seeing some good success with balancing and like some interesting things there combined with community feedback, then we'll build it even better. We'll build like more complex gameplay around these types of features, and we'll build it quickly too. So that's more of the thought process here, right?
Okay. All right, let's dive back in. So that is the first way to get Yieldstones, probably the most plentiful way, because the other one is a little bit trickier. So NFT landowners, this does not work on specs, so only NFTs can place a yield press on their land. This is a new industry, and I think I think the limit is 2 per large land and 1 for small lands. I think it says in the description, so we can go back and look together. But you can buy one of these right in the shop that is in the Hearth Hall and place it right on your land. Now, pardon me, to use this, you need one of these guys, which is called a yield reactor. And these can be crafted at a bunch of different industries in the game. I had the list last week and I told you guys it. I don't have it handy right now, but there are a few industries that allow you to craft these yield reactors. So I can come and place it on. Is it going to work though? Because yeah, right. Okay, good. So I got Verdant tier 4, which is actually really good from this land. Now, the reason I got Verdant, which is the Yieldstone of Wild Groves, not seed rights, is because this land is assigned to that union down here. And the land has to be assigned to a union for the yield press to function. It won't function without it. So me, as someone that is not in Wild Groves, I can still come to this land that's assigned to the other one, use it, and get Verdant to then go ahead and sabotage them. So it'll be kind of interesting gameplay to see. So let's go do that, actually. Let's go do that. And we can also just look at the prices and the industry limits. So let's go back to the Hearth Hall here, which also a moment for the art. Okay, look at how good this is. Our artists, they create magic, basically. Okay, let's go back in. And see here, Yieldstone Press. There you go. So it is 1.5 million coins and oh, okay. It changed since I looked at it last. So let's verify those numbers and see if it's changed or if this is a typo. But all of the correct information will be available. Oh, I forgot to put the sign on my land. Okay, let's go do that quickly. All the information will be available when we launch tomorrow, obviously. Okay, look, seed rights. Very cute. I like it. Very pretty. I can see lands just like covered in them. It's gonna be really cool to see like guilds probably all join the same union and stuff like that. Okay, let's go back to Hearth Hall so that I can go and sabotage Wild Grove with my tier 4 Verdant.
Whale faction equals instant win. I will join whale. Well, the thing is, if all the whales join together, each of their rewards will be smaller, right? So it actually would make more sense for a whale or different whales to go on different factions, right? Like there could even be a scenario where a whale is in like the second winning faction that even like individually earns more, right? So this is some of the tweaking and balancing that we'll need to do. But we like this system because the economics long run should kind of equalize and self-balance. This is kind of the way that I like to have the team balance things, where it's like you build like equilibrium points. Basically, our staking system is like that, right? Where if you notice in the staking system, a lot of the APRs of each game kind of balance out to a similar APR, because if there are more earnings potentially in a particular game to stake it, then typically like the capital flows to where there might be a higher APR. It's risk adjusted, all this. So like, Pixels, the core game has like more consistent payouts daily and there's like less risk. But yeah, we like the equilibrium points. So long term, I'm not so worried about, whale balancing because I think it'll self-balance once whales realize that they need to like join different factions to maximize their own earnings. But yeah, it'll kind of be more like whales versus whales when it comes to some of the winning factions. But there's some balance to be done there too, because we don't want the whole system to be whale oriented. And what's nice about Task Board is it's not really whale oriented. It's more grinder oriented in some way. But there's like a bit of a balance there too, right? So if you're a player who's participating in the Task Board, you know that you can kind of only get so many tasks after it's a certain day, right? So what's good about this Yieldstone right now is it's not tradable. Somebody can't just go in and buy Yieldstone and buy a win basically inside of this gameplay loop. They have to play the task board They have to actually like participate in the game every single day if they want to maximize their yield stone. And they can't buy their way in, basically. They can't just buy yield stone off of the market. They actually have to play. So we'll see how it goes. But this is some of the stuff that we'll be monitoring, right? Like I think about a couple different metrics when I think about the success of chapter 3. One, I think about roars across the ecosystem, right? Roars. We want to make sure that chapter 3, the end goal over the next month is to maintain the roars over 1. Over the last week or two, since this last content update, we actually have maintained the roars over 1. And there's also a few other promising things there too, with the offer system, better targeted offers. We'll dive into that a little bit if we have some time, because it's actually extremely promising what we've been doing there. Like it's been way more successful than we thought. Yeah, we don't let them buy all the materials, play to earn. It's not buy to win. They literally can't buy the materials. But yeah, the end goal of chapter 3 will be a couple different metrics I'm looking at. Basically, high level roars, then also player participation, right? Like we truthfully want most of the players playing the game to participate in chapter 3. Like that would be a big win. So it's also going to be percent participation, like how much of the user base is actually participating inside of chapter 3. And that's some of the other stuff that we'll be trying to maximize too. Like we want every player to feel like this is a fun mechanic. And if it doesn't feel that way, then we'll have to adjust either some of the balance or how we approach chapter 3 or chapter 4 next as well. So that's kind of the idea.
Okay, let's keep going. Let's talk about your Hearth and how you can level it up. So you can actually level up your Hearth for power and sabotage. So what that means is you can prevent sabotage. Okay, how do I say this? You can increase the power of yield stones being placed on your Hearth, like for a good reason. And then you can also have higher defense mechanisms against sabotage. And both of these require leveling up with offerings. So there are defense offerings and power offerings that you can pick up in the little store down here. Let me go and grab some here. So we have a power offering. So let's buy, I think it was 5. And then we have a defense offering. Let's 8. Let's max it out here so you guys can see exactly what happens, hopefully, if the timer is in our favor. So how it works is, oh, we got 1 minute. Wait, this is so perfect. Okay, so I'm going to put my power offerings on the Hearth, and I'm only going to do a few so you can see. I've got 4 out of 5 here to level up to the next one, which would be increase of 5% power from yield stones being placed. Now, I also want to increase my defense against being sabotaged. So it's up to 8 to decrease it by 10%. So I'm going to put all 8 on there. Anyone can participate though. Like if Luke was in my union, he could come and put some on. It can be a group effort. But right now, what it looks like is in 30 seconds. So you see there's a timer here. So you need to put all the offerings in. You have to have at least 5 power or at least 8 defense for it to work. And then once the timer runs out, my union will level up so that every yield stone that's placed on has a 5% boost. And every time we're sabotaged, there's a defense mechanism that kind of decreases the sabotage by 10%. So you can see my power and my defense, like they're level 0 right now. Oh, did it just refresh? There you go. Now we're level 1. Let's go. So that now everyone that puts yield stones on the Hearth, there's a bonus for it, and it makes us more powerful, and it will help us get that health up to 100%, which is great. And then there's also tiers here, so you can see the production and the sabotage rates of your yield stones if you're interested. Okay, cool. That's the general gist of things, I think. Did I miss anything? If I did, we talked about it last week. Let me tell you, I was very intense. I had a whole checklist of making sure that everything was mentioned. Let's go through some of the questions that we've pulled. Okay, so for black and white again. Okay, so I did retweet earlier. If you guys remember Halloween last year, we changed the game to complete grayscale. It was black and white, and people loved it and hated it. So I teased earlier, if you go to the official Pixels Twitter account, I teased us doing that again this year. I don't think it's going to happen because we do have a launch on Halloween. I mean, you don't need color for that launch. I don't think people like it. Probably won't, but like it's a fun idea. We'll see. Okay. Coming through here. It's just looking at some questions, see if there's anything related. Okay, so this is a good thing. Okay, so how long will it take between the final selection of unions and the end of the competition? So from a Hearth going from 0% to 100% is called a season, and the first union to hit 100% health ends the season. We don't know how long that's going to take. Really depends on player participation. I'm sure there will be some seasons that are short and some that are long. Now, the rewards that you get are directly related to your participation for the union within the season. So if I join at the end of a season, like right as it's ending, and they get second place, that means that I'm going to get, first of all, the prize pool. My union is only getting 30% of that prize pool, and then I'm only getting as many rewards in like relation to how much I contributed to that second place spot. So it doesn't really matter. If someone joins at the last minute and they do nothing, they're not going to get anything. Okay. When does the Halloween quest start? In a few hours. So I already mentioned this earlier, but I saw a bunch of questions about Halloween again. So bunch of things. Dropped a store yesterday with some really fun decor items that are going to only be available until November 1st on Saturday. Today, we have a fun quest launching with some bat pet rewards. There are 6 of them being given out, and then there are more bat pets being released in another Halloween event that we are launching as a permanent addition to the game on Friday, actual Halloween, along with an energy party. So there's so many Halloween things just trickling out throughout the week, on top of chapter 3 launching literally tomorrow. So keep your Pixels post notifications on. There's lots on the way. Okay. What is Hearth Hall? Okay, so I think I demoed it already, but if you have any more specific questions, please let me know. But it's replacing HQ in Terravilla Central, and it has the Hearths and everything union related. Okay.
And yeah, these
All right.
yield stones do not have an expiration date. And then, yeah, the main source of earnings, it's going to be blended now. It's going to be like a mix of chapter 3. It's going to be a mix of task board, and also you'll start seeing more offers too. Like we just kind of like reworked that pipeline. But the offers, we'll maybe dive into that a little bit in like next stage, because I kind of want to talk about token, everything going on with that, like what our thoughts, plans are around that as well. But yeah, let's maybe like finish up talking about chapter first.
But also, I think there's a really interesting mindset right now that the only way to earn Pixel in game is through the task board, which isn't true, because you can also get Pixel in merchant ships and Neon Zone, I believe. Okay. I was just told a lot from you can earn a lot of Pixel in the Neon Zone, and now you can earn Pixel in the Unions system. So there's tons of ways. I not just task board. Okay. Okay, yeah, this one's for you, Luke. No new player inflow equals dying community, in my opinion. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, a couple things here. This is like, we'll maybe switch tone right now for a little bit. Somebody also was like talking about, oh, I'm just scared about the pixel price. And somebody asked about volume of a token too. Maybe I'll run through just like an honest conversation about where we're at, what we're thinking, and like where the space is right now too. So, you know, it's no surprise to some people, but actually it's interesting is some people, there's actually a good amount of people in the player base where they only hold 1 or 2 tokens, maybe Ronin and Pixel. A lot of our players only hold Pixel. Like there's a lot of players whose only exposure to crypto is Pixel. And yeah, it's a really interesting spot in the market right now where Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana are performing all right. Bitcoin from a year ago is still, well, actually, I think from a year ago, I think it hit $100,000 for the first time about 1 year ago, right? And it's kind of been hovering there. The macro right now is not looking so great. And it's interesting is like, I can't really pinpoint why. It's something to do with like Fed rates, right? It's harder to borrow money right now. Like the Feds might cut rates, and that might mean something interesting for like some of these like top 3 coins. And maybe we'll see an alt season after that, right? Now, let's pull up like a pixel chart right now. Yeah, one thing I don't think a lot of people do is I don't think they look at comparables that often. One interesting thing to do is to look at Pixel compared to other comparable coins. Like here's Pixel versus IMX over the last month. If you see, Pixel is kind of following market trends with Web3 gaming right now. Not that that's a good thing. Like ideally, it wouldn't, right? This is a compare to Ronin. And even if you look at the charts compared to Pengu, they're all moving in a really similar way right now. And the way is not so positive, right? Like most altcoins are kind of struggling because there's not really any retail interest in altcoins right now. Now we can talk about why that is. One is, and these are just my thoughts and like my thesis around this space right now. One is I think retail has been kind of burned by altcoins and crypto before, especially after like the meme coin season, right? If you followed meme coins, the meme coin space is very, very different than it was like 2 or 3 years ago. When there was an administration change in the US, like a lot more meme coins started to do a lot more egregious stuff. Basically, we used to see meme coins go up for a long time, right? Like if you think about Doge, if you think about like the meme coins from like 3-4 years ago, when a lot of you were probably getting into crypto for the first time, you would see Doge, Shiba Inu, and all of that like actually go up for extended periods of time and then maybe crash eventually, right? Now what we're seeing is like the meme coin cycles of each of these have like really, really evaporated. Like meme coins will maybe run for like a day and then that's it. And then attention kind of slips away. Now, this has been really bad for retail, actually. Think about being a normal person buying a meme coin. Your friend tells you to buy this meme coin, you buy it, and then boom, it just like disappears 90% in like 2 days. It's a really bad experience for retail. What we've seen is like normal users are really off put from crypto right now. And that's a big issue if you're actually building something legitimate inside of crypto, right? Because retail has been burned by crypto before. They don't like it. Truthfully, we're doing a lot of stuff when it comes to paid advertising around the game. And what we're doing is like we're testing different, we call it like call to actions. So this ties in with the Pets app, actually. One thing that we're doing with the Pets app, which the Pets app is actually looking really, really good right now. We're really excited about it. Here, let me close this. It's loading. 1 second. The Pets app is a new app that we've been working on. It's called Chubkins. It's in early access right now. If you're in the United States, you're actually able to download it on the App Store right now, or not App Store, on the Google Play Store right now. You have to search Chubkins. We're not really pushing it or promoting it because we're doing a few things first. The one thing that we're trying to figure out is how we can market a game that has play to earn elements to more people than just like this current Web3 audience. The reality is not only is like retail not interested in coins as much as they used to be, but also like the Web3 audience itself, like the people who would be buying coins or playing Web3 games, has also shrunk drastically as well. There's less gamers inside of Web3 than there was a year ago, less than there was a year and a half ago. And that's a big issue if you're building a Web3 game trying to scale to 1 million users, right? So if you're building a Web3 game, or if you're in the space, how do you get to 1 million users right now? The truth is you can't be targeting just Web3 users. You have to build something that people outside of Web3 like and are interested in, right? And we've been doing a lot with this Pets app. It's funny, for some reason, maybe my Wi-Fi is out. For some reason, when we start to test different CTAs, what we're doing with the Pets app is running a lot of paid advertising, actually. We're trying to figure out what the most effective messaging is to go out and acquire new users inside of Web 2 is. And anytime that we mention crypto, when we talk to Web 2 users or run a paid ad, the like conversion on those paid ads are so much worse. What it's telling us actually is, one, there is demand for play to earn, and there's a demand for all these concepts that we have inside of Web3 gaming, because we'll run an ad talking about earn money, we'll run an ad talking about like earn a gift card, and those ads convert so well. When we talk about earn pixel, earn Bitcoin, earn crypto, those ads perform terribly. And that's an interesting lesson, right? So what we're trying to think about with the next like push that we're doing with growth inside of Pixels is, how can we start to get a new audience and get more attention inside of this game? How can we build something that has real value behind it? How can we build an ecosystem that has real value behind it too? And how can we start to get the next million users? The reality is, if you're pushing a Web3 game, it's kind of going to be a non-starter if you're trying to go out and get normal users to play your game. But you can have the Web3 be the back end, because what Web3 is actually really, really good for is all these things that you guys have been participating in to your day-to-day, right? Like the things that we have done well at Pixels is experiment on the Web3 native side. And we've actually gotten to the point now where like a lot of our concepts are kind of starting to work. Like if you go and look on the staking dashboards right now, maybe I can show a better dashboard later. But over the last 2 weeks, our roars has actually been, if you look at the net for the last, 2 weeks since the release of the merchant ships update, our average roars has been over 1, which is actually a huge milestone. Like that means the game over the last 2 weeks has been sustainable. There's more buy pressure on the token from the game, at least, than sell pressure, which is a really good spot to be in. But the audience right now is maybe not so big. So with chapter 3 and everything that we're doing here, what we're trying to do is we're trying to create a token that is backed by real users, real spend, and is ultimately, sinking more tokens than it's giving out, right? And I think that's what we need to do to focus on token for the next 6 to 12 months, basically. Like our end goal is get 1 million users inside of the game or across the ecosystem to be burning more tokens than we give out, and to do that in a sustainable way, right? So yeah, we're probably gonna go lighter when it comes to marketing the game towards the crypto side, but still have the crypto be the back end. Pixel will still be core to that ecosystem. We're gonna experiment with a few things. Like our Pets app is basically like our playground to go and experiment with a go-to-market strategy around these Web2 users. Everything that we're learning there, we're gonna take into core Pixels also and use that to grow it as well. So what we were waiting for with core Pixels, and why I don't care about DAU as much right now, is we want to make sure that the game is sustainable. And this is why I keep talking about the ROARs metrics so much. We don't want to scale users until we're at a place where anytime that we bring in a new user, there's more tokens getting burned than we give out, right? Because if ROARs is under 1, anytime that we acquire a new user, we're kind of diluting the token more, right? That's going to be more sell pressure on the token every single user that we bring in. The game is actually looking in a much better spot right now. If we keep up the last 2 weeks and we didn't release anything, then we're able to sustain that. We're already there, actually, which is really promising and exciting. Chapter 3, we think we'll probably get it to my goal would be like a ROARs of 1.1, 1.2, and maintaining that consistently. When we start to go out and acquire new users, then any new user that we bring in brings net buy pressure onto the token, right? And that would be the most ideal end goal, right? So when we think about long-term, ROARs is a really good metric to start. We're probably going to also start to introduce a new metric that blends ROARs with customer acquisition costs. So say that I go and run an ad and it costs me $1 to acquire a new user. We probably want to blend that into the ROARs metric long-term, where it's we might call it CAC, or we might call it it's not CAC, it's a different metric too. What's interesting about Web3 gaming is we're literally kind of inventing new UA methods. And that's the hard part. That's also the huge opportunity. And that's the exciting part too. But yeah, that's kind of the mindset. So basically, we want to focus on sustainability inside of the game and then start to scale it with a new audience. If we start to scale a new audience, the ideal situation is we start to build out real revenue that can be used to help support the token, however it needs to support the token. we have a really good native staking system where essentially like revenue from the games can be used to help support the network and the ecosystem. And we're also working on like a couple other initiatives also. And this is like, these updates are kind of even like not supported yet fully by the offer system. At the same time, we've also been building out like a whole B2B platform, basically, like a whole new product that you guys are going to start to see soon. We'll probably announce it in the next like 2 to 3 weeks. But essentially, we're also building out a new app that will kind of be like your whole earnings dashboard. We might even move a lot of the Pixels earnings into this new app, essentially, where you'll log into this app. You'll see all the earnings that you might be able to earn across any game in the Pixels ecosystem. And we ideally want to expand the Pixels ecosystem into like Web2 games also. So you might even be able to play a game, like this is not a partner that we have, but like this is kind of a long-term vision. You might even be able to play a game like Candy Crush and earn, right? Like our ideal situation is we partner with Web2 apps. We help them do user acquisition. We help them make their games even better. And you'll be able to earn inside of any game. So essentially, long-term plan is we're trying to bring play-to-earn concepts to normal audiences. There's still a backing behind crypto. It's still central to the Pixel ecosystem. There's revenue that supports it. There's like real economics that support it. And ideal situation is we can kind of break the market trend, right? The reality is Web3 gaming tokens all across the board will keep going down if no one figures out a new narrative that makes people want to buy a Web3 gaming token. If you saw those comparisons, like basically every Web3 gaming token is not doing well right now. Even comparables that are like not directly to us. Like I didn't want to show a comparison for us to Ronin because maybe you could say that we're linked, but like us and IMX basically follow the same price pattern right now. Us and YGG, us and Zai, us and Matic. If you like compared the chart to Matic, like all these tokens, retail has kind of lost faith in, right? Because there's not real backing, there's not real economics behind them. And player-based communities have been shrinking. So yeah, the only way to turn this around basically is to build real tech that real companies use, backed by real revenue, with users outside the current Web3 audience. And that's the push that we're making. Like luckily, we didn't just realize this. We're not caught with our pants down thinking, like we should have done something different. Like we've been making all these moves for like the last year, basically. Like we kind of saw this coming, where we saw the current thing that we were doing wasn't quite working in the way that we wanted to. This is why we made that chapter 2 decision, even because we saw that like emissions really outweighed like burn inside of the game. Our roars before chapter 2 was like 0.3 or 0.2. After chapter 2, we started getting it consistently like 0.5. Now it's been over 1 for the last 2 weeks. Like that's actually really solid promise. Now the outside world isn't really seeing that yet, right? And they really won't until we start to get an app that's starting to hit like 100,000 million DAU with an audience that doesn't exist inside of Web3 gaming right now. So really, I still feel like things are in our control. I still feel like we can control our destiny. And execution over the next few months are really important. We have these pieces. We have all the things that we need to actually go out and do this. We have like a live app that we're running user acquisition on now even. And honestly, initial results seem super promising. Like our CAC looks pretty good with this Web2 native app. And yeah, I think maybe in the next AMA, we'll start to show you guys what it looks like even more. And also, I know a lot of other people in the community want to be testing this app, the Pets app specifically. Right now, it's geo-blocked just to the US and just to Android. I think we might start to open up some of the countries over the next month or so. Like maybe Philippines would be a good first country to open it up to with early access. There's not even earnings inside of the game right now. We're just kind of testing the core loop. We're testing like all the traditional things you'd be testing in the Web2 rollout: D1 retention, D7, D30 engagement, all the game balance. We want to make sure that it's in a good spot before we start pushing it to our users. We want to make sure it's in a good spot before we start running even more paid UA on it. We're running paid UA just to get like real feedback from Web2 users. There's even a separate Discord right now if you guys wanted to go in there and like check it out, and you'll see it's kind of interesting. There's a lot of people in that Discord that came to that Discord just from the paid ads that we ran, that knew nothing about crypto, nothing about Web3, and we're just like, oh, I can play a cute game and like maybe earn something from it. That's awesome. So it's pretty promising and exciting what's going on there. That's kind of the mindset.
Okay, there's one last thing we need to talk about in this AMA before we wrap it up. We're going overtime here, guys, which is good for those getting popcorn energy in game. And that is Pixel Dungeons. So we've been talking about, and they even came up and talked to you guys all about their social dungeons. So they're running a really cool kind of like contest campaign right now where anyone can write a really cool tweet, post, whatever you want it to be on your personal social media. And all you have to do is tag Pixel Dungeons and use hashtag social dungeons. And in 1 week, the post that has the highest, what does it say? I was going to say engagement. The most views, the post with the most views will trigger a social dungeons to open, which is so cool and so much fun. So I highly recommend you guys go and make, what do they call it? Create an epic post thread video about social dungeons, tag Pixel Dungeons, hashtag social dungeons, and I'm so excited to see who wins. Okay.
Nice.
With that, I think we can wrap it up here.
Yeah, maybe like 1 or 2 more things I wanted to go over.
Let's go. Okay.
Yeah, vPixel actually. So vPixel is interesting. We actually started rolling it out silently to users. So some of you actually might have started to see offers with vPixel. Actually, there's been some interesting results there. Like it's actually been more effective than I thought. One of the things I was worried about vPixel is if we gave it out, how much a user would want it. And actually, it seems like people want it more than we had thought. And vPixel is great because yeah, obviously it's a token that we can give out or a reward that we can give out where if you like playing the game, you really like getting it, but you can't sell it. You can just stake it, right? So it actually has like a long-term benefit to the ecosystem too, because it kind of aligns players a bit more. We didn't want to all in roll it out, but honestly, initial thoughts or initial like testing, we want to be smart about it. It's been really promising. We'll probably offer it as a reward more. Where we're offering it as a reward right now is only a small percentage of our user base has seen it as a reward in this offer system, but we might start offering it even more. And what's great is we can actually give out more vPixel than Pixel because I feel more confident and comfortable giving it out than normal Pixel because it doesn't add sell pressure to the token, right? And the other interesting thing that we're thinking about is like actually introducing game mechanics that use it too. I don't want to leak that too much, but I think we might roll out a surprise feature in the short term that actually heavily utilizes it. It would change the gameplay a lot. It would be very interesting if we did it. But yeah, expect something there. And yeah, you can now withdraw vPixel and stake it on chain right now. So if you were given a vPixel reward, it's fully integrated into the Pixel ecosystem already. You can withdraw it and you can stake it on chain if you want. And then what else? I think there was one more question I wanted to talk about really quickly. No, I mean, I did want to say thank you for saying stuff like this. Pixels is the only team that always keeps working the game. I really hate when people have bad things to say. They're just doing a great job. Now, there's things that we could be doing better. There's things that we, haven't always executed on perfectly. But I do want to assure you guys, like, this team really cares still. This team is extremely motivated still. Like transparently also, like the team holds the token too, right? Like there's shared values and like shared alignment here on making stuff work, right? I can tell you like the team probably doesn't like seeing the token go down either, right? They're very motivated to see things change and turn around also. It's a weird time for Web3 gaming. I'm seeing people who have been in Web3 gaming for 5-6 years starting to lose a little bit of faith, which is sad, but I understand why they're doing that. Now, I still think there is a huge opportunity for whoever cracks play to earn in Web3 gaming. And I know it doesn't seem super like fun right now to be in the Web3 gaming trenches, right? But there will be a team that cracks this at some point. That team that cracks that has a huge opportunity in front of them. And yeah, I still have the willpower personally to like go out and do it. I still think there's potential. I still think there's a lot of promise on what we can do. And yeah, just like watch and see what the team can do over the next like 3 to 4 months. I'm excited. Our goal by end of year is like, generating real revenue through this B2B product that we're building out, this pets game and, you know, taking pixels a bit more mass market once we get the sustainability done. I know I saw somebody saying you should like work with the PGA team. If roars and sustainability inside of the game is looking good, what we'll probably do next is we'll probably start to push pixels to be mobile native. Right now it's not. It's funny because we had some team members at one point being like, it's going to be so much work to make pixels mobile native. The thing is, pixels is already mobile native on Android because of tools like PGA. Could make sense to maybe even like work a contract out with a team in a community to like get it to be mobile native, right? And like make that, you know, new user experience good, the free to play experience good too. So once we crack some of this sustainability with chapter 3, which it seems super promising, like I think we're actually already there. I think chapter 3 will give a bit of a boost there as well. Mobile native and like, you know, new user acquisition and new user retention will probably be the next priority. So with that, I think that's all I wanted to go over. Yeah, we appreciate everybody who watches these AMAs. You know, I know the industry seems a little scary right now, and I think the reality is, like the industry needs to change and adapt to like where everything is at right now too. Like we need to go out and like reach new audiences. We need to build trust with the Web2 audience again, and yeah, that's what you should be looking at when you start to evaluate like current players inside of Web3 gaming. So yeah, with that, appreciate this AMA. I think that's all I had today. And
yeah, there's a lot going on. So stay tuned, have your notifications on for Pixels post and new Halloween quests dropping in the next few hours. So we'll see you there. Bye guys.